Alright, legends, welcome along to Here's Rodder's Reviews. I'm your host, Rodney Stewart, and He-Man, the Masters of the Universe. This little episode is called The Return of Evil, and on the box, what it says about it: Skeletor teams up with an electronic android, Aramesh, and vows to help Aramesh obtain the Dimension Sphere in return for help in conquering Eternia. Now, in this episode, it's all about bravery and overcoming your fears, more or less. This android, Aramesh, is from the home planet of Orko, and Orko, as it turns out, was the guardian of this sphere that Dimension Sphere, can open doors between the dimensions, and Aramesh has come looking for it, and not knowing, he reckoned that Orko used the sphere to open the doorway to Eternia, not realising that originally Orko actually got there by accident, and he has the sphere stashed in Castle Grayskull. So of course Skeletor is on his little view screen in Snake Mountain watching everything unfold, and decides he's going to get hold of this robot to conquer Eternia. The robot does turn up at the beginning, makes short work of everyone: Man-at-Arms, Teela, and Prince Adam. Of course, Adam can't become He-Man because Teela's there. She's not in the secret. As we all know, that's the big storyline these days. But they get knocked unconscious, Man-at-Arms and Teela, which gives Adam the chance to become He-Man. Aramesh has taken Orko at this point. He's absolutely terrified, and He-Man, Battlecat hunt him down, but before they can get hold of him properly, Skeletor transports him to Snake Mountain, puts his demands on the table. Aramesh agrees, and Orko is taken back to the palace with Beastman and Skeletor, and returned to them, and Skeletor demands that, okay, we want this secret, and he gives them, Man-at-Arms manages to get Skeletor to agree to give them an hour to work things out, talk it over, and get back to them, at which time they go to Castle Grayskull, He-Man and Orko and Battlecat, to get this Dimension Sphere. So they work out a trap, essentially, by the end of the episode, to trick Aramesh into returning to his own dimension through the gate. So Orko, at the end of the episode, is essentially the only one that can defeat this robot. So they face off in a way. Orko opens the dimension gate and jumps through it to his own dimension again. Skeletor has freaked out, chases him through it too. Evelyn and Beastman get captured in the episode just before this, and Skeletor, of course, through the dimension gate behind Orko. But the robot, who is basically made of pure evil energy, is smart enough to realise that this is a trap and he's not going to go through the gate, and turns to head back. Zor is in the air at this point, of course, the sorceress in the form of the eagle, holding the gate open, but her power is starting to wane slightly. It's going to close soon. This robot has to go through, but no mortal man essentially can touch the robot. But He-Man at the end of the episode has no alternative but to grab hold of this robot and try and throw him through the gate. But this drains all his power, and the last little bit of energy he has, he manages to chuck this guy through, this robot through, at which point the sorceress pulls Orko back along with the orb and shuts the gate, leaving Skeletor trapped on the other side of it. So that's the last we see of him in the episode. So that was it. Basically the story in this episode was facing your own fears, which Orko had to do in this episode. The thing I did find interesting, and this happened in an episode previous to this too, where the sorceress in the form of Zor actually changes back into the sorceress outside of Castle Grayskull. Now, in the continuity of the show, she can't do that. So, you know, there's parts of everything in the 80s where, you know, and for the sake of storytelling in the episode, they forgot their own rules, essentially, here and there. Transformers was crazy for it. We're doing that review series as well here. And the last one, everything's out of order. There's characters showing up in episodes before they're introduced in it. But that's a big thing for Masters of the Universe in particular. Revelation, as we all know, that was a big part of the storyline. And I do remember a podcast that Kevin Smith did before Revelations was released, where he was talking about the rules that he had to go by whenever he was writing the story for Revelation. And the first big note that he got, the sorcerers can't leave Grayskull. That's why that opening episode has the sorceress on the drawbridge of Castle Grayskull. And it's something that he said he had forgotten. You know, say what you will about Kevin Smith, I enjoyed the Revelation storyline, but you know, people have went for him saying that he was lying about how much he knew the backstory of the series, but he was never backwards about coming forwards, and the fact that he had ducked in and out of the series when it was originally aired. He'd watched it back to back in the process of writing the story. But there's a few things got through as far as he's concerned, and one of the things was his original pitch had the sorcerers outside of the castle, and of course the guys that actually own the franchise says, no, you can't do this. The sorcerers cannot leave Grayskull. So that was a big thing in the storyline heading forward. But we're seeing it here in the classic original series. This is the second time, to my knowledge so far, in the series where we actually see the sorcerers outside of the castle in human form, which he can't do. But it is what it is. It's a cartoon at the end of the day. The episode closes out with Orko getting knighted and given a medal for bravery, and he's all down in the dumps, kind of like, I don't deserve this. I was really scared the whole time. Brave people shouldn't be scared. And He-Man is like, you know what, without fear, bravery wouldn't exist. So, you know, take your moment of glory here. We're all scared, and the fact of getting over that fear is what makes us brave at the end of the day. And the PSA at the end of it essentially backs that up. We've got Teela kind of going over the whole series, or the whole episode again, just saying like Orko had to run from this robot, and the only way we could defeat it was him facing his own fear and getting over it. So it was a good episode. I enjoyed this one. Probably not one of the stronger episodes in the run of the series, but nonetheless, very, very good show. Very good episode. Storytelling, spot on, apart from them forgetting the fact that the sorcerers cannot be in human form outside of Castle Grayskull. Other than that, fantastic. Talk to you in the next episode.